That's twice in a row that's happened. Hey, everybody, how's it going? It's Fandom Empire Live. It is September the 24th, 2020. We're broadcasting from just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and as well as wherever the hell the other guy is, somewhere around Baltimore. Maybe. Maybe he's been lying. Maybe he's been catfishing me for years. He's secretly Canadian and hasn't wanted to tell me. I could see it. I could see him doing something dickish like that. Joining me on tonight's episode, number 2 here at Fandom Empire, Tommy B. What's happening, brother?
I certainly wouldn't lie about something like that. That's just wishful thinking. I'm hanging in there, buddy. You know, it's been an up and down kind of day, but all you can do is keep on keeping on. I'm here tonight, ready to talk some Halloween. How about you?
I'm drained. I feel like completely more spread thin than I ever have been in my life.
I could go to this couch behind me right now and fall the fuck asleep right now, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hang on for at least another hour and a half or so.
You know what's killing me is I have this terrible like cross shadow coming across my face right now, and I can't do anything about it because of the terrible lighting in here, because we had to use the lighting on the weekend in order to shoot our Indiegogo teaser for our Halloween 4 fan film sequel, Haddonfield The Vanished, which went extremely well. We did a impromptu Fandom Empire Live. I don't remember if it was Sunday or Monday or who knows at this point, but it was fun. We basically just did an all-AMA show and got everybody's opinion on everything. And yeah, so we're here tonight to talk about crafting Halloween. No, it's not just going to be about our fan film, but just crafting a Halloween movie in general and different paths the franchise has taken over the years, plus previewing some upcoming content that we have for you guys on the channel.
Including the shitty ones?
Even including the shitty ones. It may not seem like it, but even those movies were crafted to one extent or another. Maybe not very good, but they were crafted nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how this works. First of all, I realize our view count is down today because I didn't get the preview of tonight's show up till about 5 minutes ago. Should have been about 2 hours ago, but just got tied up, and that's the way life goes. Ended up having a little bit of a conference call with a few of our cast members for Haddonfield The Vanished, and then had to talk with our lead. Look, at the end of the day, in my opinion, one of the hardest things to do while doing a fan film is scheduling. At the end of the day, these wonderful people are not being compensated to a great proportion because of just what it costs. You know, we're not going to be doing $60,000 or $100,000 or $500,000 fan film. You know, our goal here is to do a $9,000 to $10,000 Canadian dollar fan film, which means the budget gets spread thin very, very quickly, and scheduling becomes a concern. And we'll address that in a few, but it's definitely a headache. But I think we've made some leaps and bounds to get to where we need to be, which is exciting. If there's one thing I have a little more appreciation for now, I've been in a Halloween fan film as one of the central characters too, so I know how much work goes into one. But the fan film, and this is not a shot at Ray's previous films, but the film that we're attempting to do is on a much, much higher scale than what he did his 2 films 10 and 12 or 11 and 13 years ago, respectively, which makes me just, I've heard Dave say on air and even off air to me how, involved he is with It's Me, Billy, and the extent that they're working on it. And he posted the other day about how rewarding it is, and it is rewarding, but it is... it's a task, and you got to find time to go to work. You got to find time for your family, and you still got to run the channel at the same time too. So getting spread thin quite quickly, but nonetheless, we'll give a few more updates as the night goes on. Tommy, you might have some questions about filming on the weekend. Someone else might have questions about filming on the weekend. This is how this works, though. Let's get off the top. If you want to submit a comment or a question at any time during the show, feel free to send in a super chat to the channel. Anything that comes into the channel goes back into the channel. We appreciate all the contributions that you guys make to the channel. We don't just answer super chat questions. We do answer just your normal YouTube chat questions as well. That's sort of the way the show works. Bear with me, though, ladies and gentlemen, because my YouTube chat has basically been a giant pile of shit for a while now, and I have to refresh like almost all the time to be able to keep up to date with the chat. So I could be wrong. I don't think there's many questions coming in now, and if it is, it's not updating on my end. But Destiny Mix Halloween. Well, at least someone said something. But yeah, no, anything that comes into the channel goes back into the channel. Obviously, the more funds the channel raises, eventually we'll do some shows that the funds go directly to the movie. But it allows us to come on here and do more shows for all you guys. That said, we still answer normal questions too. We're not going to turn into one of those channels that only answers super chat questions. But we also can't answer everybody's questions and comments on a show. There's some episodes we designate for that, and it's designed for that. Not every show is that way. It's just not realistic. Without further ado, though, let's jump in to some, I don't want to say Halloween news because that's not what we're talking about. Let's jump into crafting Halloween. And I'm going to pose a question to the chat here. I would like everybody... Now, think about my question carefully here. I'm not asking what your favorite Halloween movie is. If you're a diehard Halloween fan, you probably know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that went on during some of these films. I would like it if you let us know in the comment section right now what you think the best crafted Halloween movie is. Whether it was, one with the biggest budget and they made the most use of it, or one that did the most with the smallest budget, or one that just, went to some various locations or different filming methods. What do you guys think the best crafted Halloween movie is? Comment in the comment section right now, or in the live chat if you're watching after the fact, the comment section. Get those two confused a little bit. Tommy, what do you think? I still don't think you've seen zombies movies, but what do you think?
I saw the first one. I have no desire to see the second one anytime soon because you can't see it without paying for it outright. And, yeah. I'm not doing that. I'll see it on a streaming service, but I'm not paying for it outright.
What do you think the best crafted Halloween movie was?
I'm honestly split on that one. You often speak of how why Halloween 4 is your favorite film, and I think there are many good reasons to justify that being someone's favorite Halloween film. A good number of which go into the crafting department, if you want to call it that. In comparison to that, I think 2018, as far as I'm concerned, stands a good match. 2018 has a lot of things 4 didn't have. More money to be thrown around, technology advancements.
That's the big one.
That sort of thing. The industry's come a long way since Halloween 4, so 2018 reflects that. So it's kind of just, how do you look at it? What's I guess you could call that a form of recency bias, if you will. But yeah, it's tough. If I had to put them side by side and try to neglect all the stuff that make 2018 quote unquote better or just newer, what have you, I think Halloween 4 would win in that department.
So I don't know if Flinner was being tongue-in-cheek when he said the zombie-crafted movies are masterpieces. And if it is, that's, all the power to Flinner, big-time supporter of our channel. We're not here to knock his favorite choices. I would argue that, when you look at Zombie's first movie, to an extent, there are parts of it that are well crafted. Does it make it a good Halloween movie? Not necessarily. But one of the editions, I have it lying around here somewhere. I think it might be the unrated edition or the ultimate edition or whatever the hell it's called, has like a really, really extensive behind the scenes making of Zombie's first movie. And I would argue that the making of Zombie's movie is a lot better than the movie itself. You definitely sort of get a look into filmmaking and what goes on during it. When you talk about the best crafted Halloween movie, though, I can't help but like sit here and go, look what they did with the original. And I don't want to be one of those people just like, oh, the original's the best just because it's the original or whatever. And for most people, the original is the best Halloween movie. For me personally, they made that movie for, a shade over $300,000, a shade over $300,000, which is just nuts when you consider it made $50 million plus. You look at the lack of technology they had available to them at that time. It is pretty remarkable what Carpenter managed to do with that movie. Literally, just with mind tricks, basically. With, as McRae says over on his channel, mood and atmosphere, or in Frank Riker's words, boobs and atmosphere, because there were certainly some boobs in the first Halloween. It's a wonderfully put together film. But if we're looking at all aspects of crafting a Halloween movie, part of it has to be, does the movie feel like it's Halloween? And I'm probably going to get run over by a bus for the third time this week for saying this. I would argue that the original Halloween movie doesn't do the best job of making it feel like it's Halloween. I know.
What do you mean feels like Halloween?
Well, first of all, they're trying to make, somewhere over in oh man, the town's slipping my mind. My American geography is getting away from me. No, not Haddonfield. They wanted us to believe it was Haddonfield, the fictional town of Haddonfield, Illinois, but in reality, it was shot over in California somewhere. And I know people say they did an amazing job of making it look like it wasn't shot there, but in my opinion, it's pretty noticeable. Pasadena, that's the one. Pasadena, Flinner, thank you. I think it's really noticeable at times that, one, not only is it not Halloween, but two, it doesn't really feel like Halloween. You get the pumpkin with Tommy, and you see a couple of houses very, very lightly decorated. I would argue Halloween 2018 kind of suffers from the same thing. Other than the POV shot you get of Michael walking down the street, it's kind of hard to tell it's Halloween, and even though those are modern times. However, and here's where my bias is probably showing a bit, when you look at Halloween 4, not only does that movie feel like it takes place in the fall, it actually feels like Halloween. It looks phenomenal. The visual aesthetic of the intro of the movie is fantastic. And I still think, to this day, Halloween 4 is the and there's, trickery of words here, is the most Halloween movie yet. I truthfully believe that Halloween 4 feels the most like Halloween of any of the movies. Now, again, that is strictly speaking from a visual aesthetic of the movie and an atmosphere of the movie, or the atmosphere of the movie. It, again, bias. Again, the movie that we're doing is a sequel to Halloween 4 for a reason. But yeah, no, I dug Halloween 4. Tommy, we did the watch along together for Halloween 4. You've seen it a couple of times now. What are your thoughts on just Halloween 4 in general. I know you touched on it a bit. I think you said that was the one that was the most, at least the best crafted Halloween movie.
If I strip away 2018 of some of the, things that make it flashy, like the huge budget in comparison, more recent innovations in the industry and what have you, I think Halloween 4 wins. It's tough. There are certain things about the story from 4 that I like better. There are certain things about the 2018 story that I like better than the direction 4 went. A lot of good stuff goes on between the two, but as far as 4 is concerned, I think that it's crafted with perhaps we want to use the term dark, and remains pretty consistent throughout about what's going on and such. Whereas a lot of things about 2018, while it was a fantastic film, and I think it's actually ahead of 4 last time I made a rankings list, I just wasn't a huge fan of. I don't really make it a secret that I wasn't really a big fan of the Doctor they chose and created, Loomis's replacement.
I am the new Loomis.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of him.
You and a lot of others. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion that Sartain is not one of people's favorite.
Yeah.
Halloween 4, another one that does feel like Halloween. And again, there's not going to be some people that like me mentioning this one. My number 2, anyways, on my list anyway, of movies that, maybe are the best crafted Halloween movies in terms of a visual aesthetic is probably Halloween 6. It gets a lot of hate, whether it's the theatrical version or the producer's cut version, but at least that movie has a real Halloween feel to it. There's no mistaking what time of year it is. And I dig it. I do. There are definitely parts of the movie that don't sit well with me and did not necessarily come off in the best light. But yeah, no, Halloween 6 for me is it's not Halloween 4, but in my opinion, it's one hell of a visually crafted Halloween movie that feels like Halloween, and I think that's important. Depending on the story that you're telling. And I really want to allude more on that, but I really can't at this time. I'm going to post another chat. Wow. See, I've ran myself so thin, I've forgotten how to spoke. That's right. Forgotten how to spoke. There's some great English there for you. I've forgotten how to speak. Let's pose a question to the chat here. Let's get them involved again. What do you guys think the worst crafted Halloween movie is? The absolute worst crafted Halloween movie. Tommy, do you have an answer for this one? What do you think the worst crafted Halloween movie is?
Need to think about it for a minute.
For me, I know people are going to be like, oh, Halloween 5, because Halloween 5 is just fucking dog shit. Complete and utter elephant shit. However, Halloween 5 actually has some decent crafting and actually feels like Halloween, in my opinion. My answer, and again, strictly speaking from movies that feel like Halloween, is the first one, the OG. I just think they were on such a low budget that it doesn't feel like Halloween. I don't think you're watching the original movie because, ooh, it's a spooky movie that takes place on Halloween. No, you're watching it because of the boogeyman, the shape, the randomness of him, committing the acts of murder he commits on that night. that to me, that's what gets you into the original, not because, the original feels like a Halloween movie. In my opinion, it feels the least like Halloween of any of the movies. Again, not a knock for an actual cinematic movie. They made that thing for kibbles and bits.
If I had, what did you say was your worst one?
The original, in terms of like it feeling like Halloween.
I had to reframe. No, I asked the question wrong. What did you say was your best one?
Halloween 4. Again, we're just speaking in terms of crafting a Halloween movie that feels like Halloween.
If I had to pick one,
I am going somewhere with this, by the way. I'll get there.
Stretches it a bit, and it doesn't feel like a quote-unquote Halloween movie, at least in the same way. I think I'm going with Resurrection.
Now, why Resurrection? Because I do see Box of Vegeta said Resurrection. Michael Stapp said Resurrection. So you got some people backing you up on Resurrection.
Because while it does incorporate horror elements and, you do have Halloween festivities being observed in the film by the characters, some of them, so much of the film itself is dedicated to making the whole video camera thing happen. It's at a party. They're watching the videos through the computer. Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for the party, I would actually have to revisit the movie and question what's actually making this Halloween. Why is this Halloween? I don't understand. And when I say Halloween, I don't mean Michael Myers Halloween. I mean the holiday.
Right.
Yeah. It just feels like a real stretch. It feels like, I don't know, college age Halloween. I mean, that's realistically the age they all are. So,
it varies, right? When I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying the original Halloween is the worst Halloween movie. I wasn't dropped on my head. In fact, the movie that we are doing, Haddonfield The Vanished, there's a lot that's definitely inspired by the original Halloween movie. So it's nothing like that at all. But when I talk about a movie feeling like Halloween, you're seeing trick-or-treaters, it feels like it's October, etc. I just don't think the original did a very good job at the end of the day. Again, though, you got to remember, these guys were painting leaves and so they would paint leaves, throw them out everywhere, rake them up, put them back in the bag, and bring it to the next location. That's how little money the original Halloween was made for. And, I mean, I'm not knocking them. That is commitment to just an extraordinary level. I think that's incredible. Absolutely just love the dedication that they had to try to make it feel like Halloween as much as they could. And hey, I'm not saying what we're saying is ironclad and Fandom Empire said that it feels the least like the least like Halloween of any of the movies, so it's fact. It's just my opinion. That's all. It's what I believe. I also think when it comes down to it, either Halloween or Halloween 4 are the two best Halloween movies ever made. There's that. We got a couple of super chats in. Intel Wild, welcome back, Mr. Intel Wild. Glad you're okay, man. Definitely had a bit of PTSD going on there when you vanished from us and vanished from Dave, and you're safe and sound, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. And our newest Patreon subscriber, Travis Middleton, him and I have been talking some Halloween over the last couple of days. I love a lot of the takes that Travis has. I would take some of Travis's takes and even apply them to another franchise we cover here, Star Wars, is Travis was mentioning to me today that he'd like to see more world building in Halloween. Instead of shrinking it, maybe expand the mythology. And I just absolutely, completely agreed with him on every level of that. And I think that could be applied to the other franchise that we watch, Tommy. Travis Middleton says, I still can't believe that Resurrection was directed by the same guy that did Let 2? Let 2. What was he thinking? Let 2. Why is Let 2 not ringing a bell? It's probably an acronym for something that I'm just not getting. Let 2. It's not ringing a bell right at this moment. So maybe let me know in the chat. I'm sure it's something totally obvious and I'm just completely missing it. So I have to say that our movie that we're doing, part 2, sorry. All right, there we go. That makes sense. It is nuts to believe that the man who made Halloween 2 is the man that made Halloween Resurrection. Oof. It just goes to show you it's not a home run every time, guys. Sometimes you hit it back to the pitcher and they just throw you out. And it's just, that's an example that just because someone does something good the first time doesn't mean it's going to be good the second time. I.e. The Rise of Skywalker. Jade. I honestly didn't realize how passionate I am about Resurrection until right now. Did you get smacked in the head since I've been down here, Jade? Passionate about Resurrection? We're gonna have to have a talk when I come upstairs, Missy. Nick Push, how's it going, Nick? Can't wait to talk with you in October, bro. Nick Push says, what's up, guys? Looking forward to Haddonfield The Vanished. Yeah, man, so are we. I guess that's as good of a segue as I'm going to get. But before I do, I can't not read Frank Riker's comment. Anything with a hot tub is well-crafted. Anything with a hot tub is well-crafted. Yeah. I'm with you, Frank. I'm with you. I could use a hot tub right about now. So Haddonfield The Vanished. Let's get into that a bit. I'm going to see if I can pull up some pictures. Most of you have probably already seen them, so it's probably not that big of a deal. On the weekend, we shot our Indiegogo teaser, and we're about 99% done that. We got to do some audio recording for it. Trailer assembly is already happening. We have Mike the Mask Maker doing the score. We have Slade doing our graphics and animation. And we just brought on a friend of Jade and I's, Greg, who is doing the assembly and the editing of the film. Tommy, if I'm being honest, mano a mano with everybody watching right now, even though at the end of the day, Ray and I get final say of what gets cut and what stays in and how things are displayed, there is something a little, and we're just talking about an Indiegogo teaser. We're not even talking the movie. There's something a little nerve-wracking about handing your, figuratively speaking, your baby over to someone else and being like, okay, have at it. It's nerve-wracking because, you might really, really, really like something, but the person with far more editing experience than you might go, yeah, we need to cut there. And it's definitely, I'm definitely having sort of an inner battle within myself right now. Thoughts?
What do you mean inner battle?
I just mean and it hasn't happened yet. It's not like Greg's been like, yeah, Sean, Ray, that scene you shot with, Loomis getting it on with the hobo, that's got to go. That can't stay in the teaser. It just doesn't fit. And clearly we didn't shoot that, but
I was gonna say that's the
hot tub
am I
scene.
sure this is the right Halloween film I'm looking for, or
the hot tub scene Frank Riker has been dying for. Loomis and the hobo. He just looks at the hobo. 6 bodies, hobo! That's what I've seen between him. Oh, man. It's just... It's nuts. It's crazy. At the end of the day, we've reached the point where we've handed the project off to various members of our team. Like, at the end of the day, could I have edited our teaser? Yeah, I could have. I have enough experience to be able to pull it off. But did I want me editing it or Ray editing it? Or did we want someone who has worked on a professional level, who has done commercials for local businesses and such? That, to me, was the no-brainer when we had an opportunity to bring Greg onto the project.
I mean, there's that, and there's also the fact that, number one, you do enough, and number two, just you don't want someone so intertwined with the project itself to be doing the editing. I mean, it's nice to bring an outside party in whenever possible, an extra pair of hands, if you know what I mean. Get more people involved, expand the team a bit of the project.
I do. Sorry, one moment here. I'm in conversation with Ray right now of what I can and cannot show. I wanted to show off a new image. And I've gotten permission on one thing, and I'm kind of torn whether I want to show it or not. But I think that we're going to. Bear with me here. Just wonderful, wonderful YouTube broadcast going on right now as I sit here looking at my phone. We're going to show off a new image.
Stop looking at your phone! That's like as if I'm better than
that. Jade's like, you do realize we have an actual baby, right? Oh, ouch. Ouch. Toronto Freddy, what's happening, my man? Toronto Freddy in the house. No, I think, I'm pretty sure Frank can confirm this. I think Dave did the editing on his Indiegogo teaser with It's Me Billy. I believe Dave and Bruce are both going to be doing the editing on the actual film. I will have a hand in the editing of our film as well. But at the end of the day, your Indiegogo teaser is going to be the number one, I'd say the number 2 thing that's going to make people want to donate to your project, And at the end of the day, I think we're trying to raise a relatively modest amount of money, aiming at 9,000 Canadian. Now, we do have an over, I guess you could call an overtime goal, where if we can raise a little more than that, it opens up new doors and new possibilities. A stretch goal, I guess you could say. But I think our goal is modest, and I think the number one reason why people are going to donate is because they like your channel, they believe in you, they believe in us and what we're doing. We're going to try to get Tommy involved in the film on some level. It'll only be a voice because we can't get him up to Canada. But it's...
Even if we wanted to...
Trying to say we don't want to? Are you trying to say we wouldn't want you to grace us with your presence?
I'm trying to say that y'all won't let me through. Let me in!
So it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, though. It is. And if anybody's going the Indiegogo route, I would honestly say the number one thing you can do is if you're putting together a team, trust your team. Let the baby go. Let the baby walk. And trust that it's going to be all right. Now, that doesn't mean, okay, I'm not going to oversee anything. You do whatever you want, Greg, and I'll just, at the end of the day, Ray and I will be like, cool, okay, that's good. No, we still have to have final say and final approval, but to have a professional come in and be able to edit our teaser together, I think is a very vital and important thing for us to be able to just get it out there, because there's not a lot of people that have even heard of this project yet. And that will be changing in the next week or two. We certainly hope anyway. So here are the latest updates, everybody, on Haddonfield The Vanished. If you've been paying attention to our social media, you might know some of this, and then we'll go through some images that we shot from the weekend. The chat can ask whatever they like. But the latest update is this. The movie is casted. We have every on-screen role casted, which is a huge relief to get to the point where it's like, okay, we have our cast, it's 13 people deep, probably considered about 40 people for 13 roles. And we're really happy with how it ended up. And two of our leads have just a mountain of theater experience, acting in theater, and I think those two are really going to help carry our film. Ray is fantastic. I have some experience, but while I am on screen for some of this movie, playing a character that I've teased before on the channel, my role's kind of behind the camera and making sure everything goes according to plan. Jade agreed with Tommy. He most definitely needs to start delegating some responsibility more. Hear that? You're getting me in trouble with the wife, Tommy. Way to go. Way to fucking go.
Not my problem.
Way to go.
Not my problem.
Okay, so yeah, the movie's casted. We have a brilliant cast. You'll get to meet them when the campaign launches. We're going to have the cast list put out there. You'll be able to see it on Indiegogo. We're going to bring some of the cast into studio and interview them. So that's exciting. The other thing we have successfully managed to do is we've secured all of our filming locations, which is just absolutely brilliant. I think that I was more scared about trying to secure locations, especially during what going on, Mr. My Sharona virus out there. I was very nervous about trying to secure filming locations. It's not an easy task, and at the end of the day, you just gotta sort of hope for the best. And the number one filming location, I don't want to give too much away. Basically, the whole third act of our movie takes place in one location, and we were able to secure that location. We're going to be going about 3 hours north of Toronto area to get there. It is a literal cabin in the woods, and it's just fantastic. It's
well, you just gave it all away.
No, most certainly I haven't given it all away. You
just
don't know.
Gave it all away.
Yes, that's it. We're doing a Cabin in the Woods sequel. We're gunning for $5 million on Indiegogo. We're going to have just CGI everywhere. It's just going to be incredible.
You're just setting yourself up for disappointment, aren't you?
Frank Riker is going to star in it, and he's going to walk down into this basement of hot tubs, and it's just full of hot tubs and boobs and atmosphere and all that shit.
It's going to be a cabin in the woods.
Seriously, though, to be able to secure the locations is really important, and it takes a lot of stress off of us. Tommy, I know there's some questions already in the chat. Tommy can see what I'm doing. The audience can't. I need to pull up some pictures here. But in the meantime, Tommy, do you have any questions about the teaser shooting, the movie that I might or might not be able to answer? What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah. How much time and effort went into the actual teaser shooting? You might have said that already, but I might have missed it.
So the actual teaser shooting, and I'm not focusing on the cam right now, guys, because I'm multitasking. And my mouse is alive. It's moving on its own. The actual teaser shooting took about, it was 2 days. I'd say it took about 5 hours to get 2.5 minutes of footage. 5 hours.
It's a long teaser. You know, it's not quite a teaser. That's an actual trailer in comparison to other teasers.
Well, you got to remember, your Indiegogo teaser is not an actual teaser trailer. It's not like, hey, here's... well, I mean, we do give some of the story away in our Indiegogo teaser. But in general, it's, hey, this is sort of what our movie's going to look like, what we're going for, and, please donate to us. It's not a story-driven, in most cases, it's not a story-driven teaser. However, I can tell you right now, our teaser does have some story in it. And you're going to get a little glimpse of that right now. I've been given some permission to share a few things. And I'm going to do that. So that's going to be some fun. Next question, Tommy.
Well, damn, you're acting like I just have them all written down and stored up, aren't you?
Well, I'm hoping you have something while I buy time with this. Or while you buy time.
How many of you all appeared in the teaser? You ready to answer that one? You ready to give us the deets?
Okay, do you include voiceovers?
No.
So just physically appearing in the teaser.
Yes.
There is three characters. Three characters appear in the teaser.
Is it the Shawnee G show?
No, I am nowhere to be found in the teaser. You will not.
Ah, that's an interesting detail.
Oh, it's interesting because I'm not in it? Wow.
Yeah.
You are just
that's
so...
what we want to see. This, this is going to be good. This is going to be big stuff.
Because I'm not in it. Wow, you really are a dick.
No, I'm not. I'm just an American.
Oh, you said it, not me. Put that one on your fellow American and Tommy B. All right, now I can go back and pull the window up and see where the hell we are. Let's see where I am in the chat here. It doesn't look like much has been happening in the chat unless mine's frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty quiet. So, how's it going, Melissa? Michael Stapp asks, when are we going to see a link to the Indiegogo? Well, I can tell you that Greg is editing. We still need to provide him with some audio. Slade is working on some graphics and some animation. Mike is working on the score. We have we're not taking our score from anywhere else. We are recording everything ourselves. So it's a process, we quite literally, this is like a puzzle that we're piecing together. And we want to make sure we do it right. The other thing to keep in mind is the movie is being shot on a Sony A7 III camera, a mirrorless DSLR, which is a very, very high-end camera. You can Google it. It runs at about, with the lens, $3,200 Canadian. It's not a cheap camera. That's what we're shooting on. The teaser was not shot on that. The teaser was shot in two different ways using an iPhone 11. And it will say on the teaser that the actual movie is not being filmed using this equipment. The actual movie will look even better than the teaser. But it was too lofty of a goal to get used to a brand new camera and expect to just hammer the teaser out right away. So, hey, Killian, it has been a while. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. We have some other questions in here. We are going to go through a little bit of a slideshow here with y'all. Jade says, long live the iPhone. Michael Stapp, when are we going to see a link to the Indiegogo? I think I started answering that.
Yeah, you did.
And didn't finish. Story of my life. Pun not intended.
Wow. Okay, we're done.
Um. Anyway, our hope is the campaign will be live between October the 1st and October the 5th. So it might be live as early as I'd say October the 2nd to October the 5th. So it might be live as early as next Friday, or it could be the following Monday. But we literally have everything in process. You'll see all the perks, what things look like, and then you'll get your link. And then we are not doing the typical 60-day campaign, which is definitely a bit of a disadvantage for us. We are doing a 31-day campaign, 31 in honor of Halloween. And in all likelihood, we probably are not going to have time to expand the campaign. Remember, we have 2 different versions of the film ready. We have our, basically 60 to 70 minute version of the film, which is what we want to do. But in order to do that, we're going to have to raise $9,000 Canadian, or as close to that as we can get. And then we also have a much shorter 25-minute version of the film, which doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of story, but still has some cool visuals. We want to do the whole film. We think that we have a story that's worth telling that is going to be its sort of own world building, expanding the mythology of all Halloween. So there's that too. I've seen someone else. Jesse says the snow with Michael would be neat. So here's the catch. I think Frank asked something along the same lines. Yeah, can weather hurt your production? Yeah, we can't shoot in the rain. If it's raining, we will not be shooting. If it's snowing, specifically at nighttime, we will probably go with it, because as long as it's not mountains of snow, we will likely do it. And being that filming is going to begin likely in late October, some of the smaller things, and then the big sequences will be filmed throughout the month of November and early December. It's weather's definitely a factor in this.
Sounds exciting.
It is, but it's stressful. There's so many things that can interrupt this and throw it off track. When you look at what's going on in the world right now, all it's going to take is cases to double, which could happen overnight. And not only will we not get our stuff done, you won't see Dave get their stuff done on the time that they want. There are laws and restrictions that we have to follow and be very careful about. So it's fun to play in a sandbox, but there's more rules in this sandbox than what we would normally see. Travis Middleton says, will you have extra spots or producer credits for indie levels? Yeah, we're going to have... We ran through some of the perks before. Most of them are sticking. We made some changes. But we got some really high-end stuff, Travis, in the 4-figure range. I think the executive producer package is $1,000 American. And then there's the Nightmare Man package, which includes a couple of masks similar to these guys here, and that's $2,500. This one is a Halloween Kills screen accurate mask minus the bullet hole, which I requested to be bigger. But this is the type of quality you're getting when you pay for one of those $2,500 packages, and that's a lot of money for anybody to put out. Will anybody do it? I have no idea. But at the end of the day, it's not just going to be like, oh, for $2,500, I'm only getting a couple of masks. No, if you're in on the $2,500 package or the $6,000 package, which is literally everything, you're getting just a shit ton, a metric shit ton of things. More details on that, though, as time goes. I can't pull it all off my ass right here. Kevin Dustin, does anyone know who's shooting It's Me, Billy, and what they're shooting on? Well, Kevin, Frank would probably know. Intel Wild's probably around. They're definitely shooting on very, very, very professional cinematic cameras. They've brought in a nominated cinematographer. And the people who are doing it, though, at the end of the day are Dave McRae and Bruce Dale. It's their project. Kevin Dustin says, can't wait for your film. Thanks. It's sincerely appreciated, sir. Robert says he was getting a haircut. Robert was getting a haircut. What do you say we look at some of these pictures, Tommy? Who wants to see some behind-the-scenes photos? And I can sort of explain what's happening of our Indiegogo teaser shot, and then I can show you some rough photos of a location we locked down today. Let's bring up this, where are we here? I think I sent them all to the desktop. So this right here is, I noticed we had a can of Dr. Pepper lying around, and I decided to fuck around.
Free product placement.
Fuck around in honor of Nick Castle, and put the Michael mask beside the can of Dr. Pepper, which I thought was a cool little photo. It means nothing. It's not in the teaser, but just thought, let's take a cool little photo of that, and I think it is that. It's nice. I just tried to. There we go. Streamlabs is being a little laggy.
What else is new?
Hair makeover. Hang on. Where is that? Sean, will you allow me to dye your hair for a total of 3 shows before we cut your hair? It's accurate to the show/movie because it would be before filming. Unlikely. I have a job where I gotta maintain some sort of visual representation of a professional, at least. Here is a behind-the-scenes shot, a black and white photo of our Michael Myers, and that is our stunt guy, who's also happened to be named Mike. And as you can tell, Mike, the stunt guy, Stunt Mike, not Michael Myers, has gotten a little bit of bloody on his face, and Michael's about to take a hammer to his skull.
Interesting.
I like this photo. I'm a fan of black and white photos. I don't know what it is. I dig black and all found footage sequences in our movie, and we are toying with the idea of them showing up in black and white. So it could happen. Call me, lame, but I dig the black and white look.
You're lame.
I'm lame? How dare you?
You're lame.
How dare you? Look at Solid Saturn. Pulling the details out. The release date right now that we have in mind is October the 8th, 2021. Might seem like a long way away, but it's just over a year, and that's a lot to do in a very, very short amount of time. Here is Mike and Ray running over a scene. We are currently in this frame here. We're discussing Mike has a fall that he has to make. And it's quite a fall. And we're basically going over how the fall is going to happen and how Ray can avoid basically stepping on him. So
preferably not on your head.
And it could have been. It easily could have gone to there. But these guys worked really hard that night to be able to pull off what we did, and I definitely can't wait to show it to everybody. We have a few more here somewhere or another. Jesse's $2 super chat to Sean's makeover. Well, you spelt Sean S-H-U-N, so you let that Sean know I wish him the best of luck. Where are we here? I like this one. I dig this one. You get an idea of Michael getting a little bit bloody. So because this is not, this is obviously a behind-the-scenes shot. It's not an in-action shot. You get an idea that I think the mask looks fantastic in the shots that we do. And I think the mask even looks fantastic there. It has a bit of a Terminator look to it. You can see his eyes a little bit here. But when shooting, we did it in a way that there's no way you can see his eyes. Like, in my opinion, Michael's eyes, this is just how I prefer it. Michael's eyes should never show up. Michael's eyes should be like how Loomis describes them, just a big black hole, basically. And so, yeah, I think the whole suit we put together for Ray just looks phenomenal. And he did a wonderful job as Michael. Remind you, he has several years' experience playing Michael. But I really, really pressured him to try to have his movements mimic that of George Wilbur from Halloween 4, since this is a sequel to 4. I thought that was important. This is just sort of a throwaway shot here. Now the blood here is on the hood. It's actually on the hood of Jade and I's SUV. And this is actually part of a sequence that happens. So we end up seeing, something happen to leave the blood there. Any questions, Tommy?
Something.
I can't just say what.
Yeah, I wonder.
It would...
Does it just appear? Does it just drip down from the sky?
Oh, totally. Absolutely, totally. And this is a shot of Ray wearing his director's hat while wearing the Michael costume. We're playing back a... We're playing back a scene here on the tablet just to see how he looks. And I don't know why he decided to not put the hammer down while looking at the scene. I guess he didn't want to let go of the hammer, but yeah. I don't think that picture does how good he looks any justice, in my opinion. And then we'll pull up a couple of images here of a location that we just locked down today. These are not really high-quality images because I can't show the one high-quality one that I do have. You could say I was forbidden to do that. But we have this wonderful little cabin in the woods. So let me pull it up here. See if I can line a couple of images up. We have that one, and there was one more. I know there's one more. Oh, no. I moved something.
Don't break it.
All right. So these are not very good images of it, guys, because we're not releasing them technically, publicly on social media. This is just for this episode. But that right there is a 2-story, might not look like it. That is a 2-story cabin about 3 hours north of Toronto. And literally when I say this is cabin in the woods, we are going to a location where we're going to spend the entire weekend there. The entire third act of the film is going to be shot at this location. It's just wonderful. It looks like something you'd see out of a horror movie. You have the big old garage, too. It looks like something you'd kind of see in Friday the 13th, but we're going to use it here in our movie. I think it just looks fantastic. It's a 2-story cabin. In order to get to this cabin, not only is it basically out in the middle of nowhere, you then have to pull off the road and take an ATV trail to actually arrive at the cabin, which is fantastic. And here's a not so fantastic part. There's no running water there. There's electricity, but there's no running water. So for 2 days, none of us are going to be able to take showers.
What if you got poop?
Yeah.
Can't poop. Gotta hold it.
So Well, no, you got a outhouse.
Just ignoring me. All right. I guess I'll just go fuck my. Just hold it. Just hold it.
We'll be using
all
a
weekend.
We have an outhouse. The number one concern is I mean, Solid Saturn. We've shown you the Halloween Kills mask. I don't know how many times I gotta tell people this. You know, I'll remove these two. I do think people are gonna love these locations. In fact, I can tell you, we were the first people to show the Halloween Kills mask minus the bullet hole. I know people are like, oh, well, it must be, there's no way this is it, but it's, oh no, there goes the mask stand. Look at me.
Breaking shit.
The mask stand, the 2-liter bottle of water. So yeah, what's going to happen is one Friday night, we're all going to take off up to this little cabin in the woods. We'll probably get there around 10, 11 o'clock at night, set up for an hour, and we're going to shoot from basically midnight till about 5 in the morning. Then we'll all sleep, wake up, have some breakfast. We'll probably have a fire when we're out there too. We'll shoot our daytime shots on the Saturday because the cabin sort of appears all through the movie, but primarily the third act. We're going to go up, we're going to take our daytime shots, and then we'll do nighttime again on the Saturday night, where we'll probably shoot from, 9 o'clock at night till 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up, and if there's anything left to shoot in the day, we'll shoot it Sunday, and then we'll all head home. So it's going to be a crazy weekend out in the middle of nowhere. We're going to have extra batteries. We're going to have extra memory cards. It's going to be something else. And last but not least, this is an image that we have not released yet. This is not an image we've released yet. And this is going to kind of tease what our movie's about. We've not released this on any social media platform. And here it is.
Ooh, spooky.
We didn't end up actually using... Hang on. There we go. So that's an image from the behind-the-scenes image from the teaser. And as you can tell, that is one very, very run-down wall that's made to look just fucking terrible and old and dirty and smoke-damaged, and it just looks like dog shit. And then those pictures are, I mean, it's pretty... I'm not going to mention the name, but it's pretty clear who those are pictures of. Remember, this is an Indiegogo teaser. And what we did with the pictures is we actually we printed off a bunch of pictures, we burned them, and then we put them in black coffee water and let them sit in black coffee water to make them look aged. And then we thought about like just pinning them to like a board. And then we thought, you know what, for this to sort of match what's happening in this teaser, it would be better if it just looked like it was quickly taped up with some masking tape. Pinning them to the board would make this particular thing seem too organized, too calculated, and it would sort of take away from what we were looking at. So we like the idea of just almost putting them up there like puzzle pieces that fit together. Yeah, so does anybody have any thoughts on this one? Yourself included, Tommy.
No, I think you just pretty much gave a real good rundown of your methodology behind here putting this board together. It's certainly an interesting approach you're taking. I'd like more info for context, but I'm not going to ask you to throw out anymore because, well, that leaves less to wonder now, doesn't it?
I can truly tell you that shooting the sequence where we see this was the one of the most uneasy experiences I've ever had.
Well, shit.
It just, yeah, it, we had to cut a couple of times just because, I'm filming it on the iPhone 11, and it just made me feel so uneasy. Like I realized that my hands were shaking, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get my head in the game here, and it ended up turning out absolutely fantastic. I definitely, spoiler alert. No, I wouldn't go with spoiler alert, but I definitely like the approach that we took anyway, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. Again, I think that there are people that are so, have you ever heard the term traditionalists? Like, for example, one of the guys we work with, Johnny, doesn't like the prequels because it doesn't feel like the original trilogy, etc. And there's some Halloween fans that only like the first movies and a little bit the second movie. And while our movie definitely honors those movies, we're sort of going out of left field with some of this and doing something that we don't think anybody else is doing right now with Halloween fan films. If you're going to do a Halloween fan film, this is my advice to you. Make it different. We've all seen copies of, let's do a wannabe H2O or a wannabe Halloween 1 or our own sequel to Halloween 2018. Do something different. I can tell you that our movie, is a Halloween movie, even though it's titled Haddonfield The Vanished, is going to take you down some paths that you might not necessarily be okay with as a Halloween fan. You might want more focus somewhere else, and we're sort of going to take you into left field and say, hey, you're not only getting that, but you're getting this too, and this is how we wanted to craft our story. So, Travis Middleton, do you have to acquire rights or pay her to have pics of Danielle Harris? No, we're not profiting from this movie, sir. We are. It's not like we're going on Indiegogo and raising a bunch of money and then being like, okay, so we raised, for example, let's say we raised $12,000 Canadian. All right, I'm going to take $5,000 Canadian, put it in my pocket, and just use $7,000 towards the film. It's nothing like that at all. All's going towards the film. We're not profiting. It won't be monetized or anything of that sort. So no. It'd be awesome though is to actually get Danielle Harris in the film. But that's unlikely. So, and that might even be showing our cards too much.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Triple Stack says I'm going to have to watch Halloween 4 tonight. I'm going to be watching Halloween 4 a lot over the next few weeks. So, it's going to be an interesting adventure. But yeah, there you have it. So this is where we are, guys. Our teaser's basically in the books. We have a Halloween 4 teaser that has been shot. It's in assembly right now. The Indiegogo is in assembly right now. Yes, triple stacks. Exactly. I can tell you right now, it's either going to be the weekend of November the 14th, where we're all going away to the cabin, or the weekend of November the 28th. And that might not seem like a big difference. But the difference between going out to this cabin at the end of November and the middle of November is probably going to be a 9 or 10 degree weather swing. So we're hoping to be able to do it earlier in the month rather than later in the month. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to, apologies. Indiegogo campaign, hopefully October 2nd to October 5th. We'll run it for 31 days. We're probably not going to have the option to extend it. I know that I'm scheduled to appear. We don't have an exact date, but I know I'm supposed to go on McRae Live with Dave sometime early in October. We don't have a first official filming date yet. That's probably going to get figured out really soon. We're definitely going to shoot some in October. I'm not sure how much, but no, we're really excited to get doing this, and it's going to be a wild experience over the next year, and hopefully a rewarding experience. And at the end of the day, if we make a film that people go, hey, these guys, did pretty good. We're trying to show people that, hey, because Ray and I are not in the industry. We're not. We're trying to show people that, hey, with a little bit of support by people that like your channel and or brand, you can go out there yourselves, and with some dedication, make a cool little YouTube movie that people can watch and enjoy, and maybe we'll go back to. And we will also be doing almost like mini behind the scenes documentaries too that'll get released via YouTube. With that said, though, let's turn things over to the chat. We'll open up the last 10 minutes of this show to ask me anything. You guys can ask whatever. If you want to send in more super chats to support the channel, feel free to do so. If you want to talk about Haddonfield The Vanished, you can ask. Robert Sutton says, I have money on this game, so I'm in and out. I'm sure Intel is probably sitting in front of a TV somewhere, drastically hoping his Lakers don't cough up this one to make it a 2-2 series. So I'm sure he's sitting there with you, Robert. But yeah, last 10 minutes, guys. The floor is yours. Talk about whatever you want. You want to talk about Haddonfield The Vanished? I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have about the movie, the teaser, or the campaign without going too far. You want to talk Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, Tommy's Halloween Rubber Ducky. We could talk all that stuff. Anything that you guys want to talk about.
Halloween Rubber Ducky? Huh.
And we will go from there. David says, hang on, is the chat updated right? I could have swore I seen that earlier. I thought I answered that. Let's see if it's loading here. All right. Killian says, thank you so much, Fandom Empire. This makes us, your fans, excited to see what's up and coming. We love Lakers. I don't love Lakers. Don't put that on me. Trevor B says, show us the Halloween Kills mask for the millionth time. Well, again, it's technically a Halloween Kills concept mask because the bullet hole in it is a bit different and there's some slightly different shading, but this in general is your Halloween Kills mask. This is done by Mike, who did a fantastic job. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. The amount of detailing that's on this mask is incredible. Now, the mask that we're using in our movie, which for some reason is wearing a hat. Why didn't anybody say that it was wearing a hat? He's just been sitting there with a 76ers hat on the entire show. This is the mask you've seen Ray wearing, which is obviously a little fried here, and by a little we mean a lot. And the eyes definitely warped and demented. And
smell it. Is that smell still there?
Yes, there's still a little bit of the burning smell, if that's what you're asking.
We need some smell-o-vision. When's the internet going to bring out the smell-o-vision?
Where is it? David asked, how many frames per second are you shooting in? The truth is, David, we don't know yet. We have some experimental testing going on with that, and we have a couple of different options. I can tell you, though, that we're shooting in 4K. So if I think right now we're leading 4K at 30 frames a second, but we'll see what ends up happening. We haven't locked that down yet. There's a lot of testing that's going to go on during the next month or so. Evan, the movie guy, will you be shooting the movie in anamorphic widescreen? Bear with me here, okay? You really you need to understand that this is almost an experimental Halloween movie. We're shooting the movie a couple of different ways, man. It's not going to be your typical, like, think Cloverfield and then think your normal cinematic Halloween movie, and then blend the two together, and that's sort of how we're doing it. Darth Baca, hey, Sean, what do you think of Supergirl ending after 6 seasons? I'm going to be honest, Darth. Again, not a horror question. This is more of a horror show, but we'll answer it anyway. I don't know about you, Tommy. I was a Smallville guy. I loved Smallville. I couldn't get into Supergirl. I tried. I gave it an honest shot. Didn't like it.
I should say that I haven't seen most of the series, but I think I saw the first half season or so. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I just didn't get sucked into it. It is definitely on the visit list. And now that it's slowly coming to an end, I will likely go and catch the whole thing at some point.
Alrighty. Robert Sutton says he's watching football. You got money riding on a Dolphins. Who's the other team that's playing tonight? I just know the Dolphins are playing, so it's probably dog shit. Flinner asked a question. I'm getting there. How many people will be on the round table in October? What will it be about? It's going to be about all of our films. It's going to be about Halloween, the Halloween franchise. It's the Lampkin Lane Roundtable. We do not have an exact date on it because of how crazy busy everybody is. Right now, tentatively, because we're still trying to make everyone's schedules work. It sounds like it's going to feature myself, Dave McCrae, Braden Timmons, Nick Push, Jimmy Champagne. So it's probably going to be 7 or 8 people that end up being on that round table. Probably 6 at once, and we'll interchange people as we go. So, yeah. Killian says Kobe is my favorite of all time. Allen Iverson for me. Allen Iverson. Nick Push says, sorry, Intel, go Nuggets. The one thing I'll say about the Nuggets is Jamal Murray's Canadian. So, yeah. Yeah, see, I know my sports. Thomas is like, what? Are we talking about chicken McNuggets? Kevin Dustin, Sean, I know you can't tell us who your Halloween sources are, or can you? But do you know who Dave McCrae's Halloween sources are? I have an idea who one of Dave's Halloween sources are, but that is not my place to say something like that, because that's the type of thing that causes drama and gets people in shit. We've told you this much on this channel. One of the 3 sources that we do use works for Blumhouse, and that person's going to remain unnamed because I'd rather that person not lose their job. And the other 2 are just very, very well connected in the industry and some stuff that goes on with Universal, etc. Conspiracy Trifecta, do you like Life of Pi? I don't think I've seen it.
I read the book. That's about it.
Maybe, is there a movie of it or just a book?
Yeah, the movie came after the book.
Kevin Dustin, what if Busta Rhythms? Melissa Todd says, love The Walking Dead. I loved The Walking Dead. I don't like where it is right now. I guess semi-spoiler alert. The show doesn't work without Rick Grimes, and if they don't bring him back to end it, I know he's supposed to have his own movie, but if he doesn't reappear in the actual show itself, it basically just seems like the show's kind of fading away at this point. Personal opinion, that's all. Kevin Dustin, oops, I meant what if Busta Rhymes was the lead in a Halloween franchise? Oh my God. Who was that? Jeez. It's almost like someone said exactly what I was thinking. 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, and we're out of here for the night. Where are we? I missed a Intel Wild Super Chat, I think, earlier on. Intel Wild Super Chat he sent in, I seriously like your mask better than the Halloween 2018 mask. He's talking about the mask that we're using in the movie. I'm going to be honest. I like both of these masks better than what's in that movie. I mean, Christopher Nelson is an absolute genius, but I'm just being honest. I think both of these masks are absolutely wonderful pieces of art. I haven't seen Frank Riker or Toronto Freddy around in the chat much tonight. Probably hasn't been much to do. There's a strong chance that our next show... My phone just said I'm on it. I don't know why.
You're on it.
Apparently, I'm on it. Ray was scheduled to be on. By the way, I want to take a second to get this out there. Ray was scheduled to be on tonight. He is not on. While he is working on this film with me. His wife is going through some really serious health concerns right now. She has gangrene in her foot, and most people think it just, affects your limbs. But the truth is, it's like a nasty disease, a nasty infection that makes it hard to even keep foods down and such. And she's really suffering right now. So whether it's your thing or not, whether it's thoughts and prayers or just well thoughts or keeping them in your mind, Ray is not here tonight because he is taking care of his wife. So, Intel Wild says he's still working. You're still working, man. Bloody hell.
Work sucks.
Bloody hell, mate.
Work sucks.
Can you give us a clue to one of Dave's sources? No, that's not my place, man. It's not my place at all. It's no one's place. Dave's sources are Dave's sources. And like I said, I don't necessarily know who Dave's sources are. I just have a good guess on who one of his sources are. And I'm not at liberty to say who. I'm not here to get anybody in trouble. Just like I wouldn't give away who our sources are. But I will say this, and Kevin, I think you're new to this channel. I haven't seen you very much around here unless you were coming around with another name. If you go back and watch most of our videos, this is not me tooting our own horn for the sake of bragging or whatever. I don't think there's a YouTube channel out there that has been anywhere close to as accurate as we have been when reporting on Halloween kills. And there's a reason for that. And it'll likely continue. Your channel size has nothing to do with how well connected you are with people. And we're fortunate enough to be connected with a few people. You know, ask me what's happening in the next Avengers movie. And other than giving my opinion on, I'd like to see this happen, I have no idea because we're not connected at all in that realm. So, Travis says Walking Dead hasn't been good since season 6.
How many seasons has that show got?
I think they're going on to 11.
Holy shit.
10 or 11. Killian, can we watch Tosh on your show? I don't know who Tosh is. The Conspiracy Trifecta. What do you guys think about the new Scream movie just being called Scream? Well, that's certainly the working title, and if you would have asked me this years ago, I would have said that's a stupid idea that doesn't hold much weight. But then Halloween went and called it Halloween instead of Halloween 18 or Halloween 2018 or even officially naming it Halloween Face Your Fate. They just stuck with Halloween, and you know what? There's 250 million reasons why it worked. Darren is in the house. How's it going, Darren? It's a little late in your neck of the woods, isn't it, bro? Poor Intel stuck at work. Yeah, we read that one. Toronto Freddy is still here. Toronto Freddy, why don't you link everybody to your little recording that you did for the guy's name is slipping my face, but I've watched it a couple of times. I absolutely love it. It's just fantastic. Darren, when's the next watch party, Sean? Well, I really, really, really want Ray to be a part of the next watch party, and I don't know if I don't know if that's gonna happen. I know he really, really, really wanted to watch Halloween 6 with us, but we might have to skip him. The next watch along might happen as early as this weekend. We'll see what happens because we're gonna get really, really busy here soon. So whether it's Halloween or could be Halloween 6, could be Halloween 3. Could be Cloverfield. We'll do something soon. Darren says, big up Ray. Yeah, Ray is, I get on him quite a bit. That's what happens when you're family. But is just, being a wonderful supporter of his wife right now. Killian says, I miss Toronto Freddy. Toronto Freddy ain't going anywhere. In fact, Toronto Freddy is officially casted in our film. He plays a small part in our film. And it's going to be really fun to have him on board. Killian says, may God bless him and his family and friends around him. Please watch over Ray. That's incredible. I know he'd find that moving. Jade says, oh my God, guys, I apologize to everyone for Sean not knowing who Tosh O is. He's old and doesn't understand some things.
Tosh.0. Is that what we're talking? I thought that we were actually talking about something.
Who's Tosh.0?
Oh, God, you don't even know that name? Oh, okay.
In the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, should I?
Yes, you should.
Why?
Google it.
Look, Jade watches all these things on YouTube that I wouldn't ever...
Fucking Google it!
Not while I'm on air. I'm not going to Google it
Did
while I'm on
I
air.
stutter?
Robert Sutton says, as in the rapper Necro. Yes, Robert, that is correct. That is exactly who Toronto Freddy's talking about. Travis Middleton says, I'm not missing much with Tosh.0. I figured as much, Travis.
It's been forever since I've... Is the show even still running, like news stuff? I used to watch it back in the day, but yeah, it got very, very... just... I guess I just fell away from it, but that Tosh.0 is definitely what you would call I don't know, an alternative comedy of sorts show.
I feel like
Fuck if I know.
Tosh.0 has
Good
completely
shit, though.
taken over the show, and I've never even heard of it.
Comedy Central.
Flinner says, since you know the whole plot for Kills, do you like it more than 2018? I find it very hard to compare things when you haven't visually seen the movie, you haven't heard the score, you haven't seen the way things play out, even though you know the events that happen. But if I had to guesstimate what those things would be like while comparing it to 2018, I think Halloween Kills blows 2018 out of the water, and I really like 2018, so should give you something to be excited for. Intel Wild, another super chat. Nuggets are great. Love dipping them in barbecue sauce. You're not a sweet and sour guy, man? I mean, I'm not a chicken nugget fan anyway, but what about sweet and sour sauce, man? Or some hot mustard, or some mayonnaise, or some maple syrup? Yeah. Again, guys, we're about to close out the show here, so last chance for any comments. I know what you meant, by the way, Intel. I know you're not referring to actually chicken nuggets, but that was a good pun. Good pun. Evan, the movie guy, I've read the script. Kills is 100 times better than 18. I don't know if it's 100 times better than 18, but it's definitely better. Jesse, Evan, where can we find the script? All I'll say is look online, because it's getting out there. It's definitely getting out there. Robert Sutton, I've met him a few times. Travis Middleton, I missed the first part of your last show about the Friday rumors. Were they mostly bogus? Yeah, they're bogus, man. I went on this rant about people that run We Got This Covered and Cosmic Book News. They're all dog shit. Not just dog shit, because that's an insult to dog shit. They're all... Do you guys remember the pile of shit the Triceratops shits out at the beginning of Jurassic Park? You guys remember that? And Laura Dern takes her hand, rolls it up all real nice, and is like... and sticks her hand inside the Triceratops shit. That's what We Got This Covered is, and Cosmic Book News is. Massive.
They've really been on it lately. I've been seeing a We Got This Covered article in my feed like 2 or 3 times a fucking day. People just sharing shit after shit after shit.
It's ridiculous. It's fucking garbage shit. Garbage
like
shit.
I see something like a rumor or whatever. I'm like, ooh, that's a nice rumor. I'll have to keep my eye on that. And motherfucker, we got this covered.
Oscar was the best kill in 18. Is Julian back? Yeah, Julian's back in 2000 or in Kills. Yeah, that's not a spoiler. That's already been out there. But his role is significantly less, which is probably a good thing. Robert Sutton loved Dead Body Disposal, one of my favorites. Killian Hayes, Sean, is Halloween Kills really coming out on VOD? LOL, joking. You know what you're doing to me, man. I know you haven't been here in a while, but oh, dude.
We're not talking this. We're not going down this path.
I know you're joking. Flinner says, let's be honest, most Friday the 13th movies are dog shit. I like a lot of them. I do think they're a case of some of them are so bad that they're fun to watch. But I mean, all film's subjective, you know? Tommy likes The Last Jedi. Enough said. I'm kidding. I don't think he actually likes The Last Jedi.
Actually, I actually think I'm wearing that shirt right now.
The Last Jedi is garbage.
I'm wearing that shirt right now.
You're wearing a Last Jedi shirt. Again, all film is subjective.
It's just as an undershirt for my Kingdom Hearts hoodie.
Well, the good news is if you run out of toilet paper during the next toilet paper splurge during the pandemic, you got yourself some toilet paper right there, man. So,
I mean, at work, I'm wearing a generic Star Wars shirt, so.
I wouldn't be allowed to do that. Look who it is. It's Dave McRae. I think this might be my first comment on one of your live streams, Sean. Keep it up. Dave, you need to give these guys a talk. Someone in here earlier was trying to pry who one of your sources is out of me, to which I replied, I have no idea. And if I did, well, I mean, I said I have an idea who one of his industry sources might be, and I might even be wrong on that. But it's not my place to give it out. You know, that'd be like if somebody went and asked Dave, hey, Dave, who's Sean's landlord? What business would Dave have of giving that information out?
What's your shoe size?
13.
What size shirt are you?
13. 3X most of the time. Big guy, man. Big guy.
I wasn't being serious.
I don't mind giving that shit out. Doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't bother me one little bit. All right, we're coming near the end of this thing. What do we got here? I lost my spot now. Solid Saturn Julian was the smartest person in Halloween 2018. Yeah, I don't know how believable Julian was, though, but that's just my opinion. Wow. Solid Tommy, you are a fucking disappointment.
It happens. I mean,
oh,
yeah,
that's
time to
harsh.
time.
That is harsh.
Story of my life.
Yeah. I can tell you this, guys. Those that sent their thoughts and prayers and well wishes into Ray and his wife, Jade has taken, he's not watching tonight. Jade has taken some screenshots to send to Ray. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to go through what him and Mary Jane, who's his wife, are going through right now. I pray and just, really hope she doesn't have to lose her foot. Even in Canada, sometimes medically people are incompetent, and that's kind of what's happened with what's going on with Ray and his wife, and definitely all the best to them. Toronto Freddy, you know what they say about guys with big feet, right? Depends who's they. It depends who is they. Absolutely. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Fandom Empire Live tonight. Tommy, it was a fun one, dude.
Yeah, it's nice coming on here, chit-chatting a little bit about Halloween here and there. Oddly enough, sources and shit, and just the project in general. Thanks for having me.
I have never had someone, Michael Myers, Sean, you will die if you spoil my... Michael Myers, there's already hundreds of other people spoiling your movie. Sounds like you have a lot of work to do before you get to me, and I'm not spoiling it, so that's not me. I just lost my train of thought, Tommy. I know we're in the outro.
It was fun, and then you stopped.
It was fun, and then I stopped. Whatever the hell that means. Anyways, appreciate everybody's support on the ongoing Haddonfield The Vanished Indiegogo campaign setup, teasers, and editing. Lots more to come with that, everybody. Truly, wow. You know you've been up too long when. Truthfully.
Yeah, I'm going to bed. Fuck this.
Yeah, truthfully, thank you for all the ongoing support. Thank you for the well wishes to Ray and his family right now. It means the world, guys. It was fun crafting a Halloween movie that, in fact, feels like Halloween. It definitely means the world. Don't forget, check us out on Instagram, Fandom Empire Now, Camp Haddonfield Podcast, and Star Wars IRB. And then on Twitter, at Fandom Empire Now, at SWRenegades, and at Star Wars IRB. Don't forget, you can check us out on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Fandom Empire. We have 2 Patreon shows now. The first being the Lampkin Lane show, which is exclusive to the $13 tier. We do an exclusive Halloween show twice a month. And now for all tiers, we have launched the Fandom Empire Underground show, where we literally talk about anything and everything. Nothing is off the table. And the first episode of that will debut next week. Tommy, busy times ahead, sir. Appreciate everything you do, brother.
Hey, happy to be around.
Well, I'm happy to have you around when you're not being a complete dick.
And if you want to catch me being a complete dick elsewhere, just follow me on Facebook. You can find me hanging around on Facebook, our different places, Fandom Empire Den, our channels, YouTube. Wow. Our
channel,
Facebook
our
group.
channel is all of YouTube. It's us.
Yes,
all
it
of
is.
us.
Yes, it is. If you want to find me on other platforms where I post mostly just miscellaneous bullshit, Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
He caught me in the middle of a sip, man. Yeah, crazy.
Well, that's your own problem.
Stay tuned, guys. We might have a Hollywood movie night this weekend. We might have one of our Fandom Empire drive-alongs this weekend. We'll see what happens. I'll talk it over with the wife. We'll see what Tommy's up to. There could be a few different movies we do, so if you're interested in hanging out, talking movies with us, that would be great. I got a script to finish this weekend, too. We have the movie laid out, but the script isn't done yet. Go figure. So lots to do in regards to that. Anyways, until next time, big thanks to Toronto Freddy and Frank Riker, our chat mods in the chat. Jade also in the chat. Guess I should probably make Jade a chat mod. That would that'd probably be a good idea, you know, having the wife be a chat mod. Could she ban me from the channel? Can she ban the actual channel from the channel? I could see her doing that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you next time. Ciao.